Welcome, my name is Tishara and this is StarMade. In the last episode we got quite a lot done on our industrial ship over here. Basically the front end of the ship is done, but we still have a long way to go because the back of the ship is basically just armor lined, so still a lot of building to do. So let's not dilly-dally and let's start building. The first part I'm starting with by expanding the main hull of the ship itself below these additional sections for the bridge. I also added this wingy bit to it, but I'm not entirely happy with it because it's too much of a wingy bit. And as you can see, I did add a blinking light to it because I did want to add some additional life to the build itself. And basically this is tied to the same clock that is rotating that sensor array over there. So I need to continue this and then transition into a section that basically connects to all the engine parts. And then we more or less have the total length of the ship in scope. So like I said, it will not reach the max length of 600 meters, but it will be a decent sized ship, as you already seen. I just continued this section of the hull. I'm not sure exactly what exactly I want to do here. Perhaps some sort of area for windows or something like that. And I also decided to add another one of those sections with the pods connected to them for the scanner drone. So yeah, I'm going to have 6 more of those. So yeah, keeping the docked entity count low is no longer a thing. It's going to be high for this ship, but that's fine. It's going to be immersive. It's going to be very interactive, and that's what I want for this ship anyway. And as you can see here, I also finished this section for the extended bridge. We now have this nice looking back section of the area. I'm going to build some sort of meeting room in here, I think. And we have one on the other side as well, so we've got quite a lot of space. And over here I got a spot reserved for the bug turret if you want to add them. Like I said in the previous episode, I am adding docking points for turrets, but I'm not going to add the turrets themselves. I also changed this wiki bit a bit, give it a bit more purpose by adding these antennas at the back here, so it's more of a some sort of communication array now than actually a wing that would aid with flight in atmosphere, because that's not what it is anyway. It's far too small for that, so it makes a bit more sense. But I wanted something in here in this area to break up the flat wall I had over there. So that's why I'm adding these details. And I need to do something more with this green section over here, because I think it's still a bit too plain and it's not connecting correctly to the top part of the bridge section, I think. I removed the temporary lines for the rotated engine part, but it's going to come back at a later stage because I'm basically making the shape for the back of the ship here, and it was a bit in the way with having no good sightlines how it's out looking. I also added these side engines on this side, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it like that or not. But basically finish this this armor section over here. It's basically a copy of the one I've got over here, but just with the back section connected to the engine over here. And then here in the middle there's going to be a big main engine. That's the main driving force of the ship itself. And that should basically complete the whole length of the ship. As you can see here, the engine setup has changed drastically. So I now have these rotated engine pods on the sides. Not quite detailed yet, I still need to do that. And the front end is not done, as you can see. But it is a clear image, I think, how I want the engine setup to be. I moved these engines I had before to this area over here instead of connecting them directly to this part, because I need that space for connecting these 45-degree engine pods. And of course I still need to work out the main engine at the middle over there. And now things look a lot more complete. I added a whole bunch of details to these engine pods, and I worked out how I want the main engine to look. So I have this cutout section in the main hull, and then this main engine sticks out like this. Got all types of detail in it, and then I want to add some additional pipes that basically I don't know, pumps after burner juice into the engine or something like that, but needs to look a bit more mechanical, I think. And then at the bottom you can see a bit more of the detailing like this with some additional engine parts. So I think this is going to work out. So I just need to add a whole bunch of detailing, close up the hull, and then the entire length of the ship is complete. So you can see a lot more how it looks now. It's quite a large ship, but yeah, with lots of detail in all the sections you can see. And as you can see here, with adding the additional armor layers in green and adding the final details like the pipes over here on the side, it looks more or less done at the back here. So the only thing remaining is some additional armor plating detailing and this section over here. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with that at this stage. Ignore this one. This is just a temporary template of my engine, small engine. And I wanted to look a bit different at the bottom over here. As you can see here, I'm working on some additional detailing. So the cutout of the armor is a bit bigger on this side than it is on the top. So you have a difference between the bottom and the top of the engines. And here we go. Now it's really done. I decided to go for a landing pad design on this top section of the hull. It's got these two small shuttle ships I designed before for my fleet frigate that I built quite a while ago actually. And this leads to a airlock over here that continues on to the inside of the ship. That's nothing there, of course, yet. And on top here, I've got basically a large window looking at the back as well. Could be a meeting room, could be something else, but I haven't decided yet at this stage. At the bottom over here, I did some additional detailing as well. I removed those orange pipes I had. They didn't really look all that appealing to me. And I'm continuing with the bottom of the ship here. Not a lot of detailing going on yet, but I have added the shape I want with the green armor layers over there. So now you get a nice silhouette of the side of the ship, how it's going to look, although it is still missing a bit of the detailing. But yeah, this is basically the final shape that the ship is going to take. And it's quite to my liking. Added a bit more detail to the bottom of the ship, so this is all nicely closed off now as well, with some additional detailing and things like that. So now all the outer hull of the ship is closed off, and I can more or less go in a transition towards the inside of the ship, towards the interior. Although I am still struggling heavily with this section. Yeah, it's not working out for me. It's a very big green plane of hull. I need to break it up with something, so I'm still working on that at this stage. Now that I am more or less done with the exterior of the ship, at least the basic shape of the hull, I can also add the systems. So I did want this ship to be functional, at least that it could fly and do the things I wanted to do. So I added a power core over here. This is basically in the main engine section. Then added all the systems and chambers around it where I had space. And this bottom section over here, this is where I have most systems located. So that's basically this armored section over here. And this gives me a lot of opportunity to add a lot of interior without the system being in the way. So basically that's what this markation is all about. These are the deck heights. And this lines nicely with the the height over here. So this is the last deck I'm going to add. It will not interfere with the systems over here. So it's got decent shields, decent power, and a whole lot of chambers for scanning, things like that. So yeah, it's basically a scanner heavy setup I've got going here. Now that I am transitioning into a more interior orientated build, I am starting to mark out where certain areas is going to be. So I already built this docking bay for the worker bees, of course, but I still need some way of connecting it to the rest of the interior of the ship. So over here I was thinking of some sort of airlock that needs to go to the rest of the ship. Then over here, for example, I need some sort of cargo elevator, and on the other side as well, that would bring cargo to this area where the cargo is picked up by the drone ships. And of course, all the area I've got below here that's still not filled up, I need to think of something as well. And this space, this is a very large space as well. And I started here at the top, of course, with a bridge, because I want a nice open looking bridge with lots of detail in it, lots of computers and things like that, and then this big holographic globe here in the middle, basically some sort of planet it's scanning with some sort of debris field or things like that in orbit of this planet. I could imagine it's something like that. Then this should transition to the rest of the interior. So we've got this connection to the side bridge sections, and then to this section over here. This sort of a big meeting room at the back. And like I said, I've got some doors over here. Misclicked. Doors over here that could open to this section, and then we need to think of something that goes in here. So yeah, interior is getting there, but yeah, it's only a first stage of this one. Bit more detailing added to the bridge, got a couple of workstations added, and they are functional in the sense that they have controls near them that do things. So for example, this loading arm position, if I press this, the light turns on, and then the loading arm, the arm over there, that goes to the open position. Then if you press it again, then it closes up. So you can control most of the features within the bridge section of the ship itself. This is, for example, the main storage is over here. That's going to be in the ship. It's not connected to anything yet, but it's something I am going to add. And of course, some of the main blocks, like the faction blocks, etc., are over here. This is also a feature I decided to add, is a main animation clock. So you can basically turn this on or off, and this will turn on or off the main animated features within the ship. For example, these rotating bits, but also, of course, the scanner over there, that one, and the blinking lights we've got over here. For the side bridge sections, I also thought of a good functionality for the space I had. I added these small rooms over here with the control sections. This is basically a control that connects to each of the scanner drone pods that houses the 3 scanner drones per pod. So for example, this is one of them. So if you press the button in the control section, then this will open and the scanner drones will shoot out. So let's press 1. For example, this one, we press it, and then nothing happens. I think I forgot to link it up. Let's try it in a different version. So this version should work. So let's try that again for the scanner pods. Let's go to the area over here, press the button, and then yeah, that one should open, and it shoot out the scanner drones. There they go. So it's 3 per pod, and then it closes again. Then if they come back, they can redock, and then the scanner pod opens automatically to admit them. So that works out fine, but like I said, it's just a nice functionality to have for interaction. It doesn't actually do anything, but that's fine. Also did a bit more work on the bridge over here, so it's more or less done in its final layout, where all the workstation is going to be. Still to add a bit more of the lighting. Added this nice door over here. So we now have this big door that opens to this sort of atrium type area, and then this connects to the big meeting room at the back, and then this connects to a area floor below, so a deck below this, and of course to the side sections over here. This is the secondary command sections with the meeting rooms at the back as well. So this deck is more or less laid out. I just need to detail it a bit more. And we can continue with the deck below it. The only thing I've added at the moment is this section. This is basically the room that connects to the back airlock over here with the shuttles, like this. And I decided to add some of the container units for the EVA suits I've got over here. Got a nice Easter egg in here as well, but only if you have the animation clock on. So that's something for you to explore when this ship is done. But we need to continue with the layout for the decks below that. So from here all the way down and then connecting it to the rest of the interior. But I think that's going to be something for the next episode. So we did a lot of things today. We finally finished the exterior of the ship, so the final shape of the ship is revealed. But now we have the very large job to fill this ship with all kinds of nice interactive stuff and a nice looking interior, the way I tend to do things nowadays. So that's still a big job to do. But like I said, that's for next time. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next episode.